I went to 3 estate sales in 3 days, and I'm gonna show you everything I got. I think you might like some of it. Hi friends, I cannot wait to show you some of the finds from these 3 estate sales I went to today. I'm going to show you the little bit of footage that I got at the first 2 because it was the first day of those sales, and just like other sales that I've been to on the first day, it's pretty crazy, and if I'm not grabbing things and getting them, then I lose out and don't get anything. So I can't film and do that at the same time. So I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of those, but the last one, we pulled in, and this was an estate sale at an estate. I mean, it was on 3.5 acres. It was a huge house, beautiful gardens, grounds. I'm going to show you that house. I was like, forget the stuff, I want the house. So that was a fun one, but I did find some beautiful things at all of them. This first sale was just down the street from me, and it started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, which was a little different. And my son had to be, I was giving him a ride to work, and he had to be at work at 4. So we went together, and I was telling him, look for this, look for that. And we got in there and got some great pieces. And then the second one was at a historic house in a downtown about a half hour from here. And they had shockingly amazing stuff. And I found out later that they are the owners of a large business around this area. They shop at Round Top, they do styling. So it was no surprise there. It was an amazing sale. Now, of course, the first day things were a little pricey, but I still managed to find some great stuff. And then went to this third sale and found a few gorgeous pieces. And then on Saturday, we went back for the half off sales at the 2 that were about a half hour away from here. So let me start with my first find in that first afternoon estate sale. Oh, I was so excited. From the pictures, you usually can't tell. You might see a couple of things that you like, but I had seen a little bit of pottery, and I thought, well, maybe there's a little bit of that. Okay, first thing I laid my hands on was this piece. And I mean the glaze on that. And it's huge. It's handmade. $8. $8. Look, it's bigger than my head. So, and it's got blues and greens and creams and whites. Oh, be still my heart. So that was the first find. What do you think so far? These were great estate sales. Second pottery find was this. How beautiful is it? Come on, the price tag's still on there. Let me try to do this without breaking it, for heaven's sakes. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna show you the bottom now. Look at the beautiful, even without the lid. That would be a great piece. $10, you guys. Again, huge and heavy and beautifully done. I was so excited. Okay, so then I was wandering around, and you know I love my glassware, and I found this in the kitchen. And I don't know why I'm just a sucker for these snap top jars. I know I've said that before, but then on the top it says per alimenti, made in Italy. And that was $2, first day price. So they had some really good prices at this first one. Then these were just innocently sitting there, made in Korea. There was 1. And there was 2. Are you gasping yet? I was just in shock at the things I was finding at these sales. Now let me show you what's really neat about these teapots. The copper, these are made in Korea. The top copper piece comes off, and there's the lid and the beautiful white teapot, okay? This has some insulation in it, it's an actual tea cozy. Copper tea cozies on top of gorgeous white teapots. Just so yummy, don't you think? And copper is just so hot right now. I know people still like the brass for sort of boho or a little bit of farmhouse even, cottage, but copper seems to be really coming in strong. And I did find a couple of other little copper pieces that I'm going to show you in a minute. Also at that sale, which I grabbed immediately, was this mirror. $8. $8, you guys. And it's a nice size for a like dressing table. And it's just this gorgeous, it's got brass all over the back. Okay, I'll just continue showing you the things that I got at that first sale. Might as well. You know, I love my tarnished silver pieces. I have several serving pieces. So I found this really neat spoon. I found this great little soup spoon. Has very pretty detail on it. And these are silver plate, I mean to say. They're not solid silver, but I still love them. Here's a little pie or dessert server. Another different shaped dessert server. And some really cute little tongs. Oh, they're like salad tongs that you can pull apart if you need to. Very pretty. And these were $1 a piece, which I thought was fair for a first day price for sure. Now, someone in the comments had said I look like I entertain a lot. We used to entertain a lot. We used to do huge get-togethers and, you know, sort of sit-down meals kind of thing with friends and extended family. And honestly, we just don't do that much now. The house we have now, the dining room is kind of on the smallish side, and it's just doesn't have the flow for that kind of formal entertaining. So mostly if we have friends over, or if we have mostly our grown kids and grandkids, I set up here on this big island buffet style, and everybody just grabs their plate and sit at the table or at the bar here. And so it's a lot less formal, but yes, we do like to have, you know, our serving pieces and different things on hand. So just to make it still a really beautiful setting, but it's not as formal. Next find from that sale, a beautiful little basket. I am on the hunt for more of these type of baskets. It just has such a vintage feel to it. I'm sure it probably is real vintage. And let me clarify, I know most of you know that are watching this channel, but maybe some of you are new to thrifting and to vintage and to antique. Vintage means anything that's 20 years or older. So say, you know, that could be from the 90s, that could be from the year 2000 at this point, is considered vintage. And that is not to say antique. Antique is 100 years or older, especially with furniture and such. So when I say vintage, it might not mean it's from the colonial days when they had rope beds or whatever, but it just means that it's been around a while. And I'm vintage for that matter, and there's a lot of things that we bought when we were first married and now they're vintage. So that's how that works. I got these great pillow covers from that first one, and they were brand new in the package. So no, not vintage, but very pretty. And they were $1 a piece, you guys. $1 a piece. Tassels, cute. I already have the feather fillers to put in here, and it says made in India on the tag. Very pretty. And so there was one, another sort of silvery one, and then the gold. 1 and 2 of those. So I can't wait to get pillows in those. Also from that first sale were some great linens. I always try to look at the linens. And these were $3 for a set of 4. And they're a black and cream, which is very classic, very farmhouse cottage, which I love, and they are actually Pier 1 napkins. So I'm thinking those are becoming collectible now since there's no Pier 1 left. Next were these April Cornell. Don't know if you've heard of April Cornell placemats. And these are such pretty colors in them that I couldn't pass them up. And I've seen a lot of people, and I've even done it myself, turn something like this into a pillow. If you're not going to use the placemats, these would be beautiful accent pillows. Next were these, and I have a feeling I'm gonna have some people out that say they love cherries and love anything with cherries on it, but these were just darling, and I couldn't resist them. There's, I believe, 4 napkins, and let's see, 4 napkins and set of 6. 6 placemats and 6 napkins. How adorable are those? These also say Made in India on the back. Also from this sale, I thought I was done with my copper, but $3 for this little strainer with the brass accents. Also, as you know, I always check out the jewelry and the handbags and fun stuff like that. The only thing I found over the weekend in that is these cute little leather bracelets. And just adorable, especially if you wear them together. How cute is that? And this one has a couple of little beads where you close it. It has letters on it that say friendship. Next, another pottery piece. Of course, the classic crockery with the blue stripe. Just absolutely love this chubby little pitcher. And it's so nice because it's not a creamer size. It's not a huge pitcher, but it's big enough to have something like a lemonade or something in it, but also beautiful for flowers. Can you imagine flowers in that over the summer? I'm excited to use that. And another gorgeous pottery score from that first place, $4. No chips, perfect condition. They took really good care of their stuff, and you just can't go wrong. And especially on a first day price for $4, I snatched it. And I think the last thing I found from this place, this first sale, unless I have missed something, I'll show it to you, was this big sort of, I guess you could call it an umbrella stand. It's sort of a heavy paper mache cardboard, but it's got sort of that toll painting on it with a little bit of a distressed finish. But I thought just so pretty and decorative, just anywhere you want to use that. And I paid $5 on that. Okay, next moving over to the house that was a little historic downtown home, cute front porch. Well, basically it's designers that were having this sale. So pretty much everything in there, just about everything in there I wanted. Now the prices at this sale were a little bit higher first day, but still bearable, and I'll show you some of the things I got there. One of my first little finds was this Mexican pottery. You know I love good pottery, and especially the Mexican pottery. It's just so pretty, and it's boho, but I think if you want to just infuse a little bit of boho into your more traditional pieces, it's sort of the brighter, more, more painted up pottery is a great way to do it. It looks it is handmade and handcrafted. And so that was that little bowl. And I think that's a dipping bowl, or these are like little dipping cups. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it was an 8-piece set and it was $4, I believe. It was very reasonable. So I grabbed that. These would be cute for dipping oil, salt and pepper. I don't know, what would you do? I mean, you could put little tea lights in them even. Next, I found these plates. Mexican pottery plates. Oh, and I just noticed now that they have a little hole there that you could put a ribbon or something to hang them, which I really was considering. So I grabbed these first, right when I saw them, $3 a piece. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So all 5 for $15 on day 1 of the sale. Also from that sale was this gorgeous painting. Could not leave it behind. It's signed. It is a painting, but I'm wondering, I can't even lift it high enough for you to see all of it. I'm wondering if it's acrylic. It's got a little bit of texture, but not as much as you would expect from an oil. But I just absolutely adored it. Most paintings, I don't mind them without a frame, but I think I may try to frame this. And I did pay $40 for this because I plan on keeping that, because I've told you, I think I've told you before, we have a lot of deer. We have a huge amount of woods behind us, and we get a lot of deer on our yard, in our neighborhood. And so it's kind of a theme here at the cottage. So I really want to frame that and put that somewhere in the house. I'm not sure where yet. Another first day find was this statue. And I think it's the David, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know, I just liked it. It was up on this gorgeous fireplace mantle in that house. And I know it's terrible, but I wish it was a planter, because I want to plant something in his head. Is that terrible? But I just love the head planters where you can have plants coming out and kind of looking quirky. I like sort of the quirky kind of stuff like that. But that was $12 day 1. Copper there. This is a piece that was $10. It is heavy, you guys. Very well done. I did not have a lid, but I do have a lid that fits it. And Rob was really happy about that. He loves the copper cookware. And then there was just this little guy that's more decorative. I mean, I guess you could cook in it and melt some butter or something. And it's got the brass handle, so very similar to the ones I recently picked up. Also on the first day, I could not resist, I had to have this piece, is this beautiful cabinet. It comes up to about my, just below my chin. So it's a nice height. And it's the perfect size for my dining room. It was $125, which was a little spendy, but since it is for our house and I had been looking for the perfect piece, and honestly, since I don't have to do anything to it, I don't have to paint it or fix it or do anything, and I love the little drawers for sort of apothecary size drawers for candles or just little decorative items, and they could be stashed in there. Okay, I also bought a gorgeous urn that is a resin, but it looks like a concrete, and I actually kind of like the resin ones more. They don't seem to crack as much. They had a beautiful concrete one, but at the base of it, it had a big chunk off of it, and that's what happens with the concrete. So I was pretty happy to find this one, and that one was $40 the first day. You can't believe the garden stuff they had was just really fantastic. Oh, speaking of which, let me show you this other piece I got that was out of their garden. This candelier, meaning it holds candles instead of being a chandelier, and just the white chippiness and the rust just did me in. $15 day 1. So again, not terrible prices. There was a lot of furniture. They had some, I believe they were Restoration Hardware, leather pub chairs going out that were probably $600 a piece, but they were $1,200 chairs. Gorgeous. Lots of bigger, more expensive items that were going out the door fast on day one. I also got this little garden table, garden stool, and there were a ton of those, and they were going out the door day one, and they were $30 a piece that first day, and I did not want to pay that. So there was one left when I went back Saturday morning, and I got it for $15. Then I also, this was at the other sale, but I'll show you since we're talking garden stuff. I got this tall garden trellis obelisk. I'm not sure what you would call it, but it is huge, and I got that for $20, and it is beautiful. We don't have it completely in place yet, but we're gonna put it at the corner of our house, and I'm going to grow white morning glories up that this summer. Okay, what do you think so far? Was it worth going? I don't know. I was pretty excited. This was the most fun I had estate sale shopping in a long time, and I have a lot of fun, so that's saying something. I also found at that second estate sale this black globe. I just thought it was so pretty. I'm always a sucker for the black globes, and I think it was Toby that said she collects globes, so I can imagine that she likes this one. I would think it's very vintage style. And there are a handful of things that I got on day two when we went back. There was actually a couple of furniture pieces that I'm going to show you once I get them set up where they're going. But this was one thing that was in the garden, and just such a pretty lantern. It was $4, or I may have gotten this day one when I think about it, because I didn't get this half off. It was $4 originally, but because it has some broken glass, but it's only on the one side. So I'm just gonna clean it up and take out that one side of glass, and I could put wire in there, but I probably will just leave it open and set candles in there or something like that. But just the rust on that, and you know, what's our word? Patina on there was just too pretty to pass up. I also got these little rusty roses. They sit on a little rectangle, and let's see, the light's not getting those really good, but I feel like you could pull a candle, a cloth napkin through those, and they would be so cute at the table. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. They actually were on this little wooden tray when I got them. So I paid, I think, $15 for all of that. And then on that same day, right next to it was the big candle holder. And the rustiness of it was just too wonderful. Love the rust. Anything galvanized or rust, I'm definitely going to take a second look at. This is also a candle holder, and it's I don't actually even know what this would be. It's just sort of an architectural salvage kind of looking piece with the candle cups in it, and that was $6. I thought that'd be really pretty on a mantle, or of course down in the center of a table. It's nice and low so you can see over it. This metal piece was $5 or $6, again with the rust. And I thought this would be great either sitting this way, and you could put different vintage bottles that you find and put flowers in it, or hang it on a wall and display, what do you know, seashells. Or we actually have some crystals and stone little collection that just sits in a drawer, and I've been thinking about trying to get them out and display those on a wall somewhere, so that would be perfect for that. Okay, so on day two, I could have gotten a lot more things than I did, but I got this vintage quilt, and you can see it's a log cabin scrap quilt. Pretty colors. It's not in absolute perfect condition. We washed it, and it looks like it was hand pieced, but it looks like it was machine quilted. but we got it for $5. Rob actually found this cute little bar book, and this was, we have that barware, what is it, Dorothy Sayer, I believe, barware up at the flea market, and I'm gonna put this with it since it wouldn't be something that we would use a ton, but it's a really extensive little book. So that was $3, I believe. And you know I found some books, of course. I found this set. It's not a complete set. I think it's supposed to be a 5-piece, but it's different. It's Time Life Library of Art, and it's different artists. And this is the sort of pocket case that they're in. Okay, and there's 4 of these, and it goes over the different artworks of, hopefully I'm not opening to a nude. Yes, of course I am. But it's going over the different artworks of the great art masters. A fun find as far as books. I'm always looking for sort of coffee table books, decorating books, historical books, vintage that just look beautiful to add to decor. Okay, I think that was just about everything from that second sale. That was a really lot of fun to go to. And the third sale is the one I'm gonna give you the sort of house tour, and I'll do that after I finish the haul. So if you wanna kind of get a peek inside this estate home. The first thing I found there were these carved wood. They sort of have an unfinished look to them, like a stripped wood. So there was that one and this one. They're each a little different. And then this one. And these were $2 a piece with the candles. And I grabbed this. I was so excited to find this. I paid $4. It is a Fitz and Floyd, the lettuceware, and white on the inside, well, creamy colored. I got it for $4. I thought I had looked it over well, so I'm hoping I'm not the one that caused it to have a little chip. I'm trying to find it now. I don't think I did because I was careful, but there is a little chip, and I generally won't buy things with a chip, but I'm kind of glad I didn't see it on this one because this is just so substantial. I just thought even a plant sitting in this or something like that, something decorative, it's just so pretty that I'll find a use for it. And if you haven't seen my other haul on lettuceware, when I just found a huge amount of it at one time, then check out the thrift hauls and it's in there and I'll link it. I also found these garlics and I thought they were just so well done. And I think I paid around $4 for these also, but they're just cute, hanging up in a pantry or just with the copper. Everybody's hanging copper, just a real European farmhouse kind of look. I found this little brass cup basin kind of thing. It has some pottery in it. I paid $2 for this, and it's a heavy, nice piece. It's not the cheaper stuff, but how pretty would this be just with even some little flowers? If you want to feel fancy, put your toothbrushes in it or even some handmade soap sticking up out of it. There's a lot of things you could do with a little cup like this just to add interest. Put it on a stack of your gorgeous books. Okay, at that same sale, I found these pears and they're so unusual. They're either stone or concrete. They're heavy and just beautiful. And I think I got 6 of them for $2. So I couldn't go wrong. I loved the color on them and I'll definitely use that as decoration. Okay, I found more wallpaper and I paid $1 for these. And I'm gonna unroll it. It came out of that estate house and it just absolutely looks like a European farmhouse, estate home. Beautiful. Oh, the blues in that are just right. mixed with a lot of neutrals. That's kind of my thing. I like color, but I like it to be just like a color and white, or a color with grays and neutrals, and then it just doesn't get as busy to me. This is a very busy wallpaper, but I feel like it would be easy to decorate around and wouldn't feel overwhelming if there were like 6 colors in here, you know. Some people love that, and like I said before, I follow Instagram accounts and stuff that are very, very colorful, and I love what they do, and it seems very cheerful. But for me, I like very calm feeling spaces, and I want them to feel very relaxed and sort of almost a Mediterranean or beachy feel, just like almost like you're on vacation. So that's kind of the feel that I like in my house. But now I'm going to show you a little bit of footage that we did at the house as I walked through, just to give you some ideas of how beautiful this place was. And of course, everything was on day 1. We got there pretty much right when it opened, and everything was running out the door at this place too. But that was okay, because I was like, forget the stuff, I want the house. It's for sale. And I was walking through thinking in my mind, I would keep that, I would change that, here's what I could use this room for. And it was just so much fun. We pulled up a long winding driveway. There were a couple of houses close by, but they were all on really large lots. Like I said before, I think this was over 3 acres. So just a very majestic, appealing driveway. The house looked like it was in some need of some TLC, but like I said, the grounds and the surrounding were what really appealed to me. And the house definitely had some possibilities. I think it was a 7-bedroom, if I counted right, and close to that many bathrooms also. And I had spotted a little greenhouse back there. That was the front door. But I actually went in through the garage into the kitchen first. And there were a lot of really nice built-ins. And there's actually just not, it needed some updating, but there's not a lot that I would do. I was drawn out to every window looking at the outdoors. There just wasn't a bad view, it seemed like. This was a nice sized kitchen, but it was a very traditional home. And down a hallway was a big room that I thought would make a great family room. What do you think you would use it for? All those beautiful French doors, and then a powder bathroom across the hall. And going down the hallway again, when we turn here, was a dining room. The entry, all the wood floors were hardwood, beautiful. This is a big dining room with a fireplace. It was a double-sided fireplace. Again, lots more French doors out to a huge deck. And again, nice views. It's not a bad view. There was an expansive upstairs, but this living room was so pretty with all the built-ins. I just pictured this as a retreat or a bed and breakfast, somewhere that maybe some of you could come and visit me and we could go out thrifting together. Wouldn't that be fun? But a lot of potential in this place. It had a great feel. And this little room right here, funny enough, I think was my favorite, just because it felt like just a little cozy library. Had some wood cladding on the walls. This first room here, bedroom, believe it or not, is not the master. It's got a full kitchenette in it with doors that go out to a front porch area and its own bathroom. Going back into the hall, now this is the master. It's just huge. The ceiling on this was fantastic. The bed just seems like an afterthought. It's sort of lost in here. But I would definitely have to put my bed where I could see out these windows. But then you turn around on the other side of the room and there is a very nice fireplace. There were 4 or 5 fireplaces in this house also. And then there was a bathroom and closet. This bathroom definitely needed some updating, but look at the molding around that window. And again, a very pretty stained glass. I'm not usually a big fan of stained glass if it's too Victorian looking, but this was done really almost more minimal, very pretty. So you had some storage and closet space there, and then more closet space on the other side. Lots of light. I did love all the windows in this house. So those are the 2 bedrooms downstairs that were very large. And there's a full basement and a full upper floor. And I'll quickly show you those also. I couldn't quite leave that bedroom. There's some stained glass right outside that bedroom. And walking through that little library again. But this is to go downstairs to the basement. And the basement was just as bright as the upstairs because there were a lot of windows and a walkout. And so it didn't feel dark and gloomy, but it did feel cozy because the ceiling, of course, was not as high as upstairs. But again, another fireplace. And it had another bedroom down here. So I have to correct myself. I think it was 8 bedrooms actually with that other bedroom. I forgot about that one. But great little family room, living space, and bedroom and bathroom off of that. And they had an old antique telephone booth there, vintage. I loved this rug and almost bought it, but it had an issue on one of the corners. It was pretty torn up, so. But that's a bar there that I actually wouldn't have to tear out. I've had to tear those out of a basement before and it wasn't fun. I kept saying that it needs some work and some changes, but I could sure move in just like it is. And here was the entry just off of that dining room that I had showed you. So then going straight up the stairs. And lots more room up here. This is what really made me think bed and breakfast or retreat center or something. Look at those big windows. There were just so many bedrooms up here, and it seemed like each of them had a bathroom right next to it. They weren't ensuite, but they had a bathroom right next to it. And they all had nice closets, and they all had these beautiful antique beds in each one. Mostly, almost all the furniture, everything was gone, but some of these were left. I think they were mostly sold, but just not picked up yet. Again, a large closet there and another really good size bathroom with lots of built-ins. I don't know what year this house was built. I never did look at the listing. It was for sale. Just a brick archway up there. It was a little bit random, but it was really pretty, but there wasn't any other brick up there. Here's a bedroom. Wouldn't these make amazing guest rooms? And of course, you have your beautiful view. And your gorgeous antique bed. And another room. So many possibilities. I sure hope someone buys this that might do a little updating, but will just love it and fill it with people again, because it seemed like it hadn't been used. And you'll see that when we get out to the garden. And this was the smallest bedroom, but still very comfortable, very pretty windows, nice sized closet. I think anybody could be pretty comfortable in here. And I think this is the only one that didn't have a bathroom just right next to it, but you just had to walk a few steps down the hall and there it was. And of course I'm zoning in trying to see that greenhouse, which was probably my other favorite part of the whole house. And here we are gonna check out the backyard. There are numerous structures like gazebos, and there were at least 2 gazebos that I saw, and this greenhouse, and it just reminded me of the secret garden, like it had been a place that was well loved for many years, but had just fallen into a little bit of neglect and just needed a little TLC. So if you're a gardener, what would you do with this greenhouse? I thought it was very pretty. I don't know how much direct sun you would get in here. It was pretty shady in the backyard. It seemed like things had grown up quite a bit probably since they put this greenhouse in. But still very majestic looking. A lot of mature plantings, ground covers and trees, and of course just expansive wooded views, flowering trees, shade. Just a really well done shade garden. I would imagine that through the seasons it has different things blooming, and I loved the stone paths. This was an area where you see the neighbors had this little log cabin, and that was your view. So cute. And over here, this just reminded me of like a ruin or something. There was so much moss growing all over everything. So just needed a good power washing, but this is how you could really tell it just hadn't been used in a while, but could definitely be brought back to its former glory. So what do you think of this place? It was really fun to tour through it and to get a couple of great treasures from this estate sale. Okay, so that is my thrift haul this week. What do you think? Was it worth going Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, Saturday morning? It was a lot, but it was the most fun at estate sales I've had. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you'll come back and join me for styling, DIY, and all kinds of home decor, of course using a lot of thrifted pieces. So thanks for spending time with me today, and I'll see you next time at Free Range Cottage.